A first impression on a first date can make or break the evening. And here are some tips for each numerological number, which can give you a slight advantage, especially if you want to make an impression on a certain guy or a girl. Dating a life path 1. If you are on a first date with a life path number 1, be careful not to sound like you're making the choices for the evening. They will immediately let you know they are perfectly capable of making their own decisions. Thank you very much. Don't bring chocolates or flowers. Instead, ask them if they want to drive and where would they like to go. They will fall in love with you right on the spot. If you are meeting someone with a life path 1 for a first date, you may be listening more than contributing to the conversation. Act like you are listening to every word they say and pretend to be incapable of making up your own mind about anything. That should do it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But do be aware you are meeting up with someone with confidence, individuality, and the desire to control most things around them. They don't need a doormat. In fact, they need someone that keeps them on their toes. But they aren't great at sharing the spotlight. The 8 makes a wonderful partner. As long as they're under the impression they are in charge. Find a way to work around that and turn it into your advantage. Dating a life path 2. Dating 2 is tricky and requires a bit of finesse, but trust me, they are more than worth it. A 2 is romantic and loves nothing more than to make you happy. Your date, the sensitive 2, does not enjoy confrontation. They are tactful and diplomatic and will appreciate the same traits emanating from you. Boisterous and boastful is not what they're looking for. Confidence, however, is welcome. Pay close attention to what they like to eat or drink and make an effort to see that they have what they need. The 2 won't always speak up. They are more comfortable trying to make you feel cared for, but your confidence and self-assurance will be appreciated. And the good part? You get to control the evening and do most of the talking, all the while, that is if you don't blow it, adored and appreciated. And if it did fall for you, they will let you down easy in the tactful, respectful way. Dating a life path 3. To go on a first date with a 3, you better be smart, funny and extrovert. There are no rules, no need to open the door for them, flowers don't make much of an impression and chocolate will end up somewhere quickly forgotten as they move on to the next thing. Your date will entertain you, no doubt, but they will expect you to respond, think on your feet and make them laugh. They may spit their wine across the table if you crack a good joke, but don't be embarrassed because they won't be. Along with the positive attitude, they are looking for depth and maturity from you because, to be honest, it is not their strong point. One thing is for sure, a date with a 3 will be fun. Little in the conversation will be predictable, so be alert and quick. Those with a 3 life path have any number of balls in the air at the same time. Organization is not the strong suit, so don't expect a well-scheduled itinerary. Dating a life path 4. Dating a 4 can sometimes be quite boring and challenging if they don't have other numbers to balance these traits. But when it comes to long-term commitment, they are solid as a rock. If you are meeting a 4 for the first time, you probably spent considerable effort just getting the date. Dress for the occasion and pay close attention to details. Make sure to make a reservation in advance even if the restaurant doesn't require it, or choose an event you think they will enjoy. Your effort will be noticed. The 4 is into quality in all aspects of life, and that includes a potential mate. Being flashy and showing off will get you as far as the door. So pay close attention to the conversation and do your best to remember it, because they will. Dating a 4 can be challenging, but if they fall for you, you will have gained an assistant, a protector, and a manager all in one. The 4 appreciates practicality. Forgetting a coat on a cold night might seem carefree and daring to others, but the 4 will simply be perplexed that you dressed so impractically and didn't prepare for the evening. Talk about your career and your plans, but keep it practical and realistic. Ask a date about their plans, then sit back and feel free to wander, because it's going to take some time. They may seem a little too enthusiastic about the mundane aspects of their work, but they are warm, loyal, totally trustworthy, dependable, and truly devoted. If this floats your boat, lucky you. Dating a life path 5. The most sensuous of all numbers, getting a date with a life path 5 is not easy. First, you have to get past everyone else who's interested, and your pickup line will need to be original, funny, and respectful. And then, maybe then, you will pick some interest. But what an opportunity! A first date with a 5 is usually memorable, and even if there's no follow up, you will enjoy the memory. Your challenge is to be not just smart and interested, but also unique, open minded, and tolerant. You must be willing to show your vulnerable side without even the slightest whiff of self pity. Self deprecating jokes are particularly appreciated if you can show that you don't take yourself too seriously. And then you might have a chance at a second date. Your date is smooth, funny, and wonderful communicator. They will listen to you with all the attention you deserve and show understanding and compassion, all the while hoping you are noticing and appreciating their dynamic, adventurous traits and talents. Try to keep up. It won't be easy. They will probably tell you stories about their travels and adventures, and while they may be a little embellished, chances are they have any number of stories to tell. One thing for sure, you won't be bored. And you won't be lacking attention, and there's a reason they call 5 the most essential of all numbers. Dating a 6. The first time you date a life path 6, you will immediately feel a sense of security and warmth, like a warm, fuzzy blanket. That's the power of 6. The tenderness, sincerity, and hospitality they radiate is real. The 6 is the ultimate seducer, the parent you always wanted, the safety zone that will melt every insecurity. So, you want to impress them and get to know them better. Here's what you do. They want to know that you follow your heart more than your mind, that you are willing to sacrifice yourself to help someone less fortunate, that you are not afraid to show your feelings, and most importantly, that you are loyal. And you cannot fake those qualities because your date is anything but dumb. The warmth and loyalty of a 6 is real, and you can take the word to the bank. But as with all things, there is another side to watch out for. They can be annoyingly subservient and easy to manipulate because they are willing to sacrifice to an unhealthy degree. They are also insufferable advice givers. If you want to make an impression on them, tell them family means everything. You enjoy staying at home and you like nothing better than cooking a big meal after working all day. And you better mean it. Dating a life path 7. If, after watching them for months and leaving messages almost daily, they finally agree to abandon their quest walk and stack of books or the laptop to spend time on a date with you, the life path 7 will probably outperform you intellectually, make you nervous with their penetrating eyes, and not be at all impressed by your fancy clothes or your bank account. A 7 is a force to be respected and feared. They look right through all things artificial, aren't interested in compliments, and are in constant search of the reality behind the illusion. But you can conquer their heart and win their everlasting love if you have intellectual curiosity, are hungry for knowledge, and give them the time they need to be alone, which is essential to their being. They are not interested in trinkets, but take them to a museum or a thought-provoking lecture, maybe even a park with a blanket, and they will answer your call every time. Well, almost. A first date with a 7 can be an adventure of a different kind. First, you will probably find it challenging to understand whether they are serious or they're joking, when they're making fun of you or offering a clumsy compliment. The answer is all of the above. When they tell you one of their dry jokes, they are being serious because inevitably that joke touches upon something that matters. When they make fun of you, it's because they like and respect you, feel comfortable with you, and are trying to compliment you. And when they are quiet, which is often, there is just a lot of activity going on inside that brain. If you like them, if you appreciate their offbeat demeanor and eccentricity, give them space, the freedom to not be part of a conversation, and a love that does not demand an excessive show of affection. Their love for you will be as powerful as any can offer, but a quiet, personal love that only you can see. Dating an 8. The life path 8 can be demanding and will take charge of your date whether you like it or not. Fortunately, you probably will, just don't make it too easy for them. The 8 doesn't care for pushovers, so feel free to disagree, confront and stand your ground. For a while anyways. In the end, you will need to surrender or compromise, often giving them the upper hand. Showing up with a bunch of flowers won't do much. The 8 likes practical gifts that keep on giving, not something to stuff in the garbage a week later. They are not particularly romantic, but enjoy good conversations in a classy environment with someone who sees the world like the way they do. A down-to-earth perspective that does not entirely deny magic. Your date appreciates compliments, likes to be in charge without being questioned, and is happiest when on a pedestal. There is a pretty good chance they are or will be successful in their pursuits, which is likely their first priority. If you like a strong, decisive partner, you can't do much better. However, it will require you to be somewhat submissive, so at least not too confrontational unless you want to fight, and you will need to support their goals and priorities. Or playing it smart, just give them the illusion they are in charge while quietly guiding with a subtle hand. And now that should be too hard. Dating a 9. A first date with a life path 9 is as predictable as the path to the moon. It goes something like this. You pick them up in your car, they open their own door, make note of your gas-guzzling pride and glory, look around the interior of the vehicle for signs of fast food wrappers, and ask which restaurant you had in mind. You answer, a natural cafe or local foods market, or the soup kitchen where you plan to volunteer for an hour before picking them up. The 9 has a social and environmental awareness you are best to respect. In most other things, they are easygoing, low maintenance, and generous, but they can appear aloof, so don't let that turn you off or feel you don't matter. People with a 9 life path often stand out simply by just standing there, regal, proud, and refined. And what is sexier than that? Meeting a 9 for the first time with romantic expectations is bound to disappoint initially, but chances are good that by the end of the evening, you will want a second date. Your first impression may be they are an opinionated, do-gooder and self-righteous know-it-all, but as the evening progresses, if you haven't already left, you will find they are interesting, worldly, and truly knowledgeable, as in someone who reads the newspapers and in-depth articles as opposed to sound bites from the idiot box. They care little for material things, and grandstanding is not in their nature. The 9 is conscious and alert, aware of things that escape most other people, and they strive to make the world a better place for everyone. They can be a bit annoying when discussing carbon footprints and people in a remote area halfway across the planet, but there is no doubting their integrity and devotion. Practical fares better than flashy or hip for the 9s. And above all, although they will not expect you to be as involved in social affairs as they are, they will expect you to be genuine and honest. Please comment down in the section below which is your favorite numerological number to date. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.